This infographic delves into limitations on expenses and prohibited contributions as provided on RA number 7166, Section 13 and BP number 881. Let us understand election expense limits and managing election expenses. Election campaign spending is a vital aspect of the electoral process, but it must be regulated to ensure fairness and transparency. RA number 7166, Section 13, sets the stage for authorized expenses of candidates and political parties. This provision offers clarity on how much can be spent by candidates and parties during election campaigns. Likewise, BP number 881, Section 10, established regulations governing the financial aspects of candidates during elections, referenda, plebiscites, and other similar activities, with the exception of barangay elections. It outlines the financial framework for conducting electoral processes, ensuring that the COMELEC has the necessary resources to carry out its responsibilities effectively and efficiently. Let's all explore the defined election expenses and contributions thresholds and exemptions, and unveil the structure that safeguards the integrity of our electoral system.
In the context of elections, a contribution encompasses any financial or valuable support, including money, gifts, contracts, or promises, aimed at influencing election results. It does not include unpaid volunteer services. Additionally, it covers the use of donated facilities valued at local rates.
Expenditures incorporates payments and agreements to spend money for election influence and considers the candidate's personal property use at local rates.
Prohibited contributions. Financial institutions can't make contributions for partisan politics, but they can provide loans to candidates or parties following laws and regular practices. Certain groups and individuals are prohibited from contributing to election campaigns. 1. Public utilities or those with national resource rights. 2. Government contractors, subcontractors, and beneficiaries of government privileges. 3. Those receiving significant government loans within a year. 4. Educational institutions with substantial public funding. 5. Civil service officials, armed forces members. 6. Foreigners and foreign corporations. Soliciting or receiving contributions from these entities is illegal. Furthermore, it's unlawful for anyone, including political parties and entities, to seek or accept aid from foreign sources to influence election outcomes.
Under Section 97 of BP 881, it shall be unlawful. 1. For any person to hold dances, lotteries, cockfights, games, boxing bouts, bingo, beauty contests, entertainments, or cinematographic, theatrical or other performances for the purpose of raising funds for an election campaign or for the support, representative, or any person acting in their behalf, any gift, food, transportation, contribution, or donation in cash or in kind from the commencement of the election period up to and including election day, provided that normal and customary religious stipends, tithes, or collections on Sundays, and or other designated collection days are excluded from this prohibition.
Under RA number 7166, political candidates have spending limitations between 3 pesos and 10 pesos per registered voter. It depends on the elective position, party support, and membership. The presidential and vice presidential candidates, whether a member of a political party or not, can spend up to 10 pesos per registered voter. However, for those running as independent candidates, the ceiling is 5 pesos per registered voter. And for political parties, the expense ceiling is 5 pesos per registered voter. Just recently, the House of Representatives passed a bill to raise campaign expense limits for candidates in elections, citing the need to adjust outdated limits in the current. The bill aims to amend Section 13 of RA 7166 or the Synchronized National and Local Elections and Electoral Reforms Act.
Now we go to the prohibited donations by candidates. Section 104 of the Omnibus Election Code provides such prohibitions. Any violation of any of those listed in Section 104 of the Omnibus Election Code shall be subject for the disqualification of the candidate pertaining to Section 68 of the Code. Section 104 includes the candidate, his or her spouse or any relative within the second civil degree of consanguinity or affinity, or his campaign manager, agent or representative in the said prohibition.
As mentioned earlier, not all kinds of contributions and expenditures are allowed by law. There are certain rules and regulations governing contributions and expenditures that must be carefully observed by each candidate. Regardless of the outcome of the elections, all candidates are obligated to submit a statement of contributions and expenditures or SOCE after the elections, otherwise they may be perpetually disqualified from holding public office. A statement of contributions and expenditures or SOCE is a document that contains an itemized list of all contributions and expenditures by a candidate. Every candidate and treasurer of a political party must submit full, true, and itemized SOCE to the appropriate Comelec department within 30 days after the day of the election. The date of submission for the SOCE is final and non-extendable. Candidates who won the elections are prevented to assume office upon their failure to file their respective SOCE until the deadline. Failure to file the SOCE shall constitute an administrative offense for which the offender shall be liable to pay an administrative fine ranging from 1,000 to 30,000 pesos. For the commission of a second or subsequent offense under this section, the administrative fine shall be from 2,000 to 60,000 pesos. Accordingly, those who will not file their SOCE, state false records, and those who will exceed the required expenses may face perjury, perpetual disqualification, or imprisonment, as deemed appropriate by the Commission.
In conclusion, Republic Act No. 7166 and Batas Pambansa No. 881 establish vital restrictions on campaign expenses and prohibited contributions in Philippine elections. These laws safeguard the electoral process, promoting fairness and transparency. Compliance is not just a legal duty, but a cornerstone of a free and democratic society, ensuring that every citizen's voice is untainted by excessive spending or questionable financial support. It is crucial for candidates, political parties, and voters to grasp and uphold these limits to preserve and protect democratic ideals.